uh, go over a chapter here in Matthew chapter 5, and I'm going to go over a few verses that has to talk about being perfect. All right, so the whole context behind being perfect, it says, Jesus says, you must be perfect because I am perfect. How is it possible for a Christian to be perfect? What are some examples of being perfect? A Christian, okay, because there's many ways to be perfect. But I'm just going to read it over here, and hopefully you can kind of decipher it. I'm going to read Matthew chapter 5, verse 37. It says, "But let your yes be yes, and your no no, for whatever is more than this is from the evil one." So your yes mean yes, and your no mean no means you're keeping your word. Your word means something. It's a bond. And today there is a lot of, even in contracts, you can even write it on paper, and it's pretty much written. Once it's written, it's supposed to stay. Like when you purchase a car, a house, you get married, there's always something written. So you're promising to do something for X result. So yes mean yes, no mean no. Whatever you do, if you switch it up, it's from the evil one. So if you like decide to get a divorce, it's of the evil one. If you decide to not pay your payment and your house gets foreclosed or your car gets repossessed, it's because someone broke their promise. So that's first of all not being perfect or good, but this is an example of how to be perfect. So that's one. Because verse 38 says, "You have heard that it was said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth." So if in this agreement you said yes, but you actually lost, you said no because you didn't want to do it, you changed your mind. Well, a tooth for a tooth, because you said no. Now I have the authority or the permission to also do something because of it. Well, you didn't do this, so I can do that. Then verse 39 says, "But I tell you not to resist an evil person." So if a person wants to switch it up, you say, okay, switch it up, do your thing. But whoever slaps you in your right cheek because he switched it up, and when slaps you literally, like slapping you because he doesn't want to pay you or doesn't want to do anything to you, it's like he's slapping you. And he says, turn the other cheek to him also. So um, basically, turning the other cheek is not running away. It's meaning stand your ground, but don't change your word. So it's pretty cool how it makes you a little different, because you're still gonna want the thing to get done. For example, a couple who wants to get a divorce, typically there's one person that instigates it, right? Well, you made a marriage contract, whatever, for life, till death to us do us part, right? And when you break that contract, you're saying no, like it's something that's from the evil one, right? But you stand your ground, like, well, I don't want to get a divorce, but if you want to, because you're actually giving him them papers, it's like you're slapping that other person in the face. He says, well, slap me, but I'm not gonna do it. My word means my word. If I change it, if I decide to say, okay, I'm gonna agree with you, you're basically doing what Jesus said not to do. Let your yes mean yes and your no mean no. So that's just one example of being perfect. All right, because everyone says there's no such thing as being perfect. It's not possible, right? All right, so the next example that it's in a day-to-day life is he says if somebody wants to sue you, verse 40 says if anyone wants to sue you and take away your tunic, let him have your cloak also. So a tunic is something like they put on their head, right? A little, I don't know, or I think it might be scarf or something like that. But if he wants to take that, all right, fine, take this. It's like, you want my shirt, you want my shoes too, or you want my pants. Take, if somebody wants to do that, all right, let him have it. In other words, if you fall into the trap of getting angry and losing your peace, losing your happiness, losing your joy over something material, and you lose your peace, you've already lost. So that's why it's kind of important, to be perfect. is not falling for the people, the evil person who wants to lose your peace. They want to make you lose your happiness. And that you take your spark away. And once they take in your spark and they steal that happiness and that joy, you lost. You're no longer good. You kind of like fell for it, and that's what the evil one wants. He wants you to lose your joy, your happiness, your peace. So if they ask for that, go the extra mile. And this is biblical too. He's like, and whoever compels you to go 1 mile, go with him 2. So a lot of the things we hear in motivational guys, speakers, inspirational guys, oh, you can do it, go far, go, it's in our DNA, it's in our blood, you were born for this, right? It's from the Bible. It's from the scripture. Whoever compels you to go 1 mile, go 2. So the real Christian or the real person, the man of God, is not average. He is like above average. He is one of the like it separates a man of God is supposed to separate from the rest, because most people want to be average. They don't want to be pushed, or they don't want to be like, gone too far. Don't ask for me too much. I'm going to give you the bare minimum. And that's why it's hard for people to find employees right now. Businesses are like, man, if you want anything done right, you got to do it yourself. Okay. so if someone asks you to go 1 mile, we'll go 2. Give him who asks of you, and him who wants to borrow from you, do not turn away. So if you got the funds and you're able to pay somebody or help somebody out, do it. If you can't do it, if you don't want to do it because you're basically stingy or greedy or anything, he doesn't want that type of person. He wants somebody who is giving, helpful, obviously not stupid, not naive, or like you're not just going to be giving your money to like just some random scam artist, because there's a lot of scammers out there, so you still got to be careful with that. But it says, hey, if this guy is asking you to borrow, do not turn them away. So a lot of times people will say, man, I'm in such a bad situation here. I'm losing my house, my car, my wife, my dog, all of this. And we're like, oh, God bless. But you're able to do something. It's not going to hurt you to help him. That's what he's saying. We'll give him something, So you can you can kind of differentiate what Jesus is trying to tell you here is how to be different, how to have that heart or that compassion for people. This goes another step further here, and this is kind of like gonna blow your mind away, because a lot of Christians, including myself, I'm just saying that it's super hard to do this next one. Have you heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy? All right, and the whole reason of this video is similar, is because I had an experience this week where I came across a Muslim. And this Muslim is like saying, oh, it's all you have to do is be a good person. Okay, just be good. And I thought about this scripture. I was like, how is it that being good, but at the same time, you have to be, you can hate, like in the Muslim community, there's a lot of hate. Like if you're not this, there's consequences to hating, right? There is even in Christians. Like if you don't believe in this, well, I hate you, and you're going to, anyways. But it's just kind of hard to do this. I say to you, love your enemies and bless who curse you. How can you love your enemy? Right? How can you bless those who curse you? Have you ever gotten cursed off by somebody, and you're actually expected to bless them that curse you? Do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who spitefully use you and persecute you. I've gotten phone calls where I've gotten threatened over deals, right? And it just makes me so angry, and it works. People get you mad, right? But I can't be mad forever. I have to actually get over it, and I actually have to love this person and pray for him. And hopefully it's not bad enough where my peace is lost. But Jesus is saying that our level of being a Christian is not just normal. To love your neighbor, to love your enemy, that's two different things right there. That's two different beasts. Okay, to love your neighbor, that's easy, right? Your neighbor's across the street. Oh, hi, bye. Your neighbor is over there. They need two eggs or whatever. Oh, okay, this is an act of love. Hey, you can have some my barbecue. That's easy to love your neighbor, especially if he's a good neighbor. But if he's a bad neighbor, oh, that's kind of hard, right? But now he's going one extra level, is love your enemy. Mm. So again, this is Matthew chapter 5, and it's pretty much just basically telling us how we have to differentiate ourselves if we say we're Christian, okay? That you may be sons of your Father in heaven, for he makes his sun rise on the evil and on the good, and he sends rain on the just and the unjust. For if you love those who love you, what reward do you have? Do not even tax collectors do the same? So it's like, I only love my family, right? I only talk to them. Somebody else comes, oh, don't answer the door or whatever. But it's not about that. It's like, open the door. Uh, love your enemy, because you're not being any different than your neighbor. Then let's just say an atheist. Let's just say congressman, someone who's corrupt, right? Or I'm thinking that they're all corrupt, but you compare evil persons, and even that evil person has nice gifts. They probably have funds, and they probably give better gifts to their children than you, right? So what difference? What differentiates you from an evil person if they do good things too, but how can you differentiate yourself from a tax collector? He's like, they do the same thing. That's what he's saying right here. And if you greet your brother only, what do you do more than others? Do not even tax collectors do so? Like, oh, because they're saying they shake their hands to everyone, right? But we're too good, and well, we're not going to shake their hand. Oh, and that actually has another thing to go with that Muslim experience. I'll get to that here shortly, but it says the last verse I want to read is this: therefore you shall be perfect, just as your Father in heaven is perfect. So Jesus is expecting perfection, and these are examples of being perfect. It's just not. It's just being a good person, right? But it's being perfect, because when going along with the Muslim experience, is that he said that all we have to do is be good, right? And it's not. It goes beyond that. What caught my attention was when I went to go shake their hand, right? And I know you're not supposed to shake the woman's hand, right? Because to me it felt like she was his property, all right. And then if another man touched her, she was gonna be defiled, right? But we were all just having fun. So basically he shook my hand twice, and we sat together. And as I'm trying to make conversation and we get to know people, I was asked the wife a question like, "Oh, and what kind of house do you like, or what do you like the country, or do you like the city?" And then he like kept interrupting. He says, "She likes whatever I like." I'm like, "Bro, I wasn't talking to you. I was asking the wife." And then so I couldn't shake her hand. I couldn't talk to her. I couldn't ask her a question. I mean, I could, but it was just kind of weird that she was considered more of a property, kind of like a slave. That's how I felt. That's how the situation was. So and that's being good. So that's why I'm like, you know, you can kind of tell the words of Jesus and how it's supposed to change you and make you a better person, and it gives us a kind of like an outline, the criteria that we need to live by. And without this criteria, we would just be good, because we would still hate our enemy. We would still be just like this Muslim guy, maybe have all those little imperfections that we don't realize. Man, that's just stuff. Anyways, I hope these scriptures helped you. I just wanted to go out there and kind of explain this a little bit because it caught my attention, and hopefully it'll help somebody else grow. Because we all gotta grow. We can't be in this stage of, oh, everything is perfect. I go to church, I'm a good guy. I tithe or stuff like that. It's not about that. It's about living and being different, being like overachievers, not just average. All right. Anyways, thanks again, and until next time.